bit obvious. Also the Barbarian and Australian rules set aside. Okay. You want the shakers set aside. What are the shakers? I've no idea. They could be Cocktail Society, they could be Foundation for Epilepsy, I really don't know. Is anyone here from the University Society of Shakers? You appear to be not trembling at all.
We're a group which hopes to provide a forum for discussion of moral and civil rights issues. We meet once a week and that's about it.
Okay, still provide a forum for moral civil rights discussion. Do you still want them set aside? No? Okay. Okay, I'll move that the following clubs be affiliated to AUSA: University Society of Shakers, University Aikido and University Squash. All those in favour say aye. Okay, those against, carried. Okay, the motion will be from the chair now that the Labour Club be affiliated to AUSA. Does anyone wish to speak to that? Okay, but we don't have to deal with the other two first.
A couple of weeks ago, and it was resoundingly rejected by most students. There are a number of reasons for that, and perhaps it's good just to start by reiterating those reasons. To begin with, the Labour Club only actually has about 50% of their membership that are actual students. The rest of them have no current connection with the university at all. Another reason is their bank accounts are frozen because it's dead and undecided issue exactly who are the elected officers of the club, and this would put AUSA in a very difficult position if they chose to give the Labour Club any more money, simply because their accounts are frozen and we wouldn't know who to pay them to. Thirdly, the Labour Club currently owes AUSA $1,200. There is no visible means of paying this back, and to affiliate them would open the AUSA to the further danger of extending more credit that would not be paid back. Also, the Labour Club has failed in the last 2 years to bring government ministers up to face the music. We've got a budget coming out on Wednesday, which Douglas has already said is likely to hit students. Yet have the Labour Club come up with one government minister to face the music in front of students as to what should really be going on? Have they brought one government minister to come up to be accountable to answer the student needs? No, they haven't. The reason why they're going for affiliation is because they can't get recognition within the Labour Party, that is the current people claiming to be the executive, and yet they're coming to AUSA to try and get them to enter into an internal Labour Party battle. Another reason is the Labour Club is a bit of a misnomer. In fact, what they really are is the Princess Street branch of the New Zealand Labour Party. Let's get that very clear. What the AUSA will be doing by affiliating them is to provide funding for a political party branch, a branch of the New Zealand Labour Party. And as we all know, the Labour government at the moment is not acting in the best interest of students. So why then should the New Zealand University students be funding a branch of that political party? It's a total nonsense. And there will be more people speaking against it.
People have picked up work out, and now they're going to join AUSA with our AUSA model constitution. But that's the only thing that we really need to be concerned about. So it does mean that AUSA members can go along to the general meeting and vote at the general meeting. Previously you couldn't do that. However, they have now decided to change it so that you can. So there's absolutely no reason why you can't affiliate this body. Another thing why we should affiliate them is because they owe us a lot of money. If we don't affiliate them, we're unlikely to see it back. Alright, this way at least they can try to fundraise, get a grant and pay back the debt. So it'll be a good idea for you to affiliate them, alright?
Yeah, well, this is getting pretty really confusing here, but just to sort of straighten things out a bit, that first fellow was talking about the Labour Club sort of drawing AUSA into their personal wrangles and that sort of thing, but basically we've been drawn into another one of their wrangles here because I think there's a bit of sour grapes here from some people who sort of cheated themselves onto the executive and then got kickback off again or something like that going on. So basically, don't get too confused about the issue. We've always had a Labour club. Don't let them sort of wally you around with how much money they owe or whether they're really the Princess Street branch. Let's just get on with it. Tell these guys to take off and take their sour grapes elsewhere, forget it, re-affiliate the Labour club and let's bloody well be done with it.
That's right, and just as it is important for students to work against what the government is doing in education and what the government is doing in the economy, it's important for people in the Labour Party to work against what the government is doing because we don't support it either.
What are you doing about it?
Nothing. What we do as much as we can, and by working with AUSA, by having some associations, that increases our ability to work against the government. It's not cost the association, it's to their benefit, it's the benefit of students, that we have some involvement and that we continue to work against the government and not try and support people who would like to see Roger Lawrence run its course, who would like to see Richard Bremel continue to run his bike at Auckland Central in the manner to which he's accustomed, which is not how we want it, and it's not how we want this country to be run. No, they don't.
I'm not doing this very well.
Can you hear this? Yeah. I would just like to ask the graduate senator to leave the fucking microphone alone every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, please. Okay. Sorry about that, I'm really pissed off with them interfering in what we're trying to do here, especially when it concerns education policies and Labour government and stuff like that. Yeah, you want to speak to us?
I would like to speak against the Labour Club being affiliated. It makes me angry, that person that got up and said before how we weren't members last year. How can we be expected to be fucking members when we weren't even students the year before? That just makes me angry. Then they're sending out their shit, the Labour Club. They call it the Labour Club. They're not even fucking affiliated. You know, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off as much as it pisses him off. Thank you.
Well, we have a lot of people pissed and fucked off, but I don't know about the facts of the case. Okay, the speaking order is closed. I'll just use the position of the chair to say that it appears that certain members of the Labour Club who act together and seem to be with us on opposing the government. And on that note, I will put the motion that the Labour Club be affiliated to AUSA. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against? No. Carried. You like a what, mate? I think you should, you know, that might work with Preble, mate, but that was obviously carried, and I'm not going to fuck around and waste people's time. Okay, let's fuck a mate on a hand count. Who wants a hand count? No, forget it, mate, forget it, okay? Go back to your Roger Lawrence for a while. Okay, next club set aside was the University Barbarian Rugby Club.